And next time you're asked to give to your favorite charity, consider where's the money going? Our investigation found millions of dollars in donations never actually make it to their intended destination. Instead, we discovered most professional fundraisers in the Carolinas have collected more money than the charities that hire them. Our Nate Morbido discovered the government can only do so much to protect you.
This looks like a stylish sweater.
If not for giving donors,
His name is...
I'm Officer Gerson.
vulnerable kids would receive fewer presents every December.
Every day he wake up, he can go to the Christmas tree, he say, is it Christmas yet? Is it Christmas yet?
And fewer supplies every new school year.
Well, you want something with blue?
State records show, with the help of a professional fundraiser, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Fraternal Order of Police has collected at least $1.5 million over the last 2 decades for its Cops and Kids program. Significant dollars. FOP President Daniel Redford says the organization could never raise on its own.
The tears that we see from the mothers who are very thankful for what we do really drives why we do this.
But WCNC Charlotte's review of charity filings shows that's only about 25% of all donations collected by the FOP's solicitor. Do you think the people that are donating realize that 25 cents out of every dollar are going to this lodge?
I think that would be a question that would be, better answered by ABI.
The other 75%, the equivalent of more than $4 million, went to ABI, Area Benefits Incorporated, a professional fundraising company that hires local workers to call potential donors on the FOP's behalf.
When you look at it for just what it is, out of context, it is a big number.
The FOP Lodge's long-standing contract spells it all out. The nonprofit is guaranteed a minimum 20% of all proceeds, at least $60,000 every year, described as a 50-50 split. After a promotional coordinator gets a cut and after fundraising expenses are deducted.
Nobody's getting rich off of this.
State laws require professional fundraisers to report how much they collect and provide copies of their contracts. That's how we figured out most charities use fundraising services that end up taking the lion's share of the donated dollars.
I would never, ever make a contribution to a professional promoter that's calling me on the phone.
Tom Bartholomew is president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau. The BBB standard sets a baseline for charities to take home at least 65% of all money raised. Bartholomew says any nonprofit that receives less is spending too much on overhead.
If you want to have that impact that every donor tells us they want to have, give directly. It's really that person that's answering that phone and saying, yeah, okay, this sounds really interesting, something that I'd like to support. I'm going to go to their website directly and make my contribution.
I would say 75% or better would be my personal preference.
North Carolina's Secretary of State Elaine Marshall's bar for charitable giving is even higher. But neither she nor state leaders can mandate how much charities receive.
We can't do that. We can't. I came into office thinking I could because I wanted to make sure that charities got as much as they possibly could.
A 1988 U.S. Supreme Court decision originating in North Carolina concluded, based on First Amendment rights, states cannot determine reasonable fees. And that's not all.
You can't make a solicitor disclose what percentage goes where.
That's what I understand.
The ruling also made it so professional fundraisers don't have to share the cost breakdown up front with possible donors, only if they're asked.
If asked, the expectation is that they're telling the truth.
ABI's president says the company meets that expectation, telling us by phone potential donors ask for details all the time, and his workers are always transparent. As for the largest FOP lodge in the state, Redford says if police can negotiate a more favorable deal that allows them to receive a bigger percentage of donations, they will.
If it's an opportunity for us to re-explore how we can capture more of that money, we're all for making changes that are going to benefit us.
Especially since the end goal
Tell them your name.
is to give back to the communities they serve. The Secretary of State says it's really on you to protect your money, and it all starts with doing your research. We've posted the records we analyzed on WCNC.com, so you can see every charity's most recent fundraising results. She also recommends only giving to local charities, and before donating any money, checking to see if you can visit or volunteer, so you can get a better feel for the nonprofit. Nate Morbido, WCNC Charlotte.